Welcome to the first episode of Gabbing with Grace. I'm Grace, and this is my podcast where I'm going to bring in a bunch of different topics and just gab about them. Sometimes I'll have guests, but today it's just me, and I'm gabbing about Twitter because there's obviously a lot going on there right now, and it's important to talk about, but it's also really funny. So that's the main reason why I'm gabbing about it today. So let's get into it. For those who know, Twitter is currently a battlefield of parody accounts and debate over the little blue check mark, and a lot of important people and important brands are leaving the site altogether because of this chaos. This all started when Elon Musk finally completed his purchase of Twitter after months of negotiations and lawsuits and counter lawsuits. And then he finally was able to buy it on October 26th, which was just like 2 weeks ago, really recently. And then a few days later, after the purchase was complete, he dissolved the entire board so that he would be the only director and CEO. The biggest thing to come out of this was the option for anyone to be verified on Twitter if they only paid a fee of $8. So Elon really said yes to gaslighting and girl bossing, but gatekeeping was just going too far. So he apparently thought that, quote, Twitter's current lords and peasants system for who has or doesn't have a blue check mark is bullshit, end quote. And yeah, he expressed this in a tweet. And when this was actually made available, people ran to pay that $8 and get verified like they had been waiting their entire lives to do it. And it makes sense because the opportunities this created were absolutely amazing, but probably not in the way it was intended, because people started creating parody accounts that have worked to collectively send Twitter into a state of total disorder. And just that itself is really funny. But when we get to the actual parody accounts and the actual tweets, literally comedy gold. So here's the thing though. I know there's a lot of layers to this. I know that I don't know everything that's going on and all the important things, like so many things about this whole Twitter whatever could start great conversations about media and the way our society works, and I would love to be part of this analysis, but I just simply don't have the time or the patience, and so I'm going to do what I do best and just focus on how funny this is and ignore everything that could be important, which I don't always do that, but in this situation, it seems the only logical path for me. So that's what's happening in this episode of the podcast. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the best things that have happened on Twitter since it has become more lawless than it has ever been. So most of these funny tweets from parody accounts that I've seen, I've found on Instagram or TikTok, because I've never really been a huge Twitter user, don't know how to navigate it that well, especially now. And so most of these have come from other places, but they still comedy, still funny, and yeah, they still get the point across that Twitter's a complete shit show right now, and I love it. So the first tweet that I'm going to look at is one that I saw from the verified Coca-Cola account, but obviously it was not. It was someone who paid $8 to make a new account called Coca-Cola with the same logo as the official company and have that little blue check mark by it. And they tweeted that if this gets 1,000 retweets, we will put cocaine back in Coca-Cola. And you see that, and it looks like it's from the official Twitter account, and I think that's the funniest thing ever. And that's it. And then, of course, we have the official Pepsi account, or so it seems, who knows, tweeting that Coke is better. And I agree, it is, but this is just hilarious. And then we have McDonald's tweeting just a bunch of O's. I will put a link to a picture in the description to this tweet, but just tweeting a bunch of O's, and then Coca-Cola, the verified Coca-Cola account, tweeted back a bunch of O's, just like so random. Nothing makes sense about it at all. I don't get it. And the part that's funny about this is that it's actually not a parody account. It's the official McDonald's, the real official one, and the real Coca-Cola just tweeting absolute nonsense. And no one is batting an eye because Twitter is lawless right now. And metaphorically speaking, obviously, just saying that because it's funny to say. But yeah, hilarious. And then those were the funniest tweets I saw that weren't too controversial to bring up without actually getting into the implications of all of this that's going on. But the last tweet I have to talk about is this one. Actually, I saw this on TikTok. I was scrolling on TikTok and I thought it was real at first because this happened a couple days ago before I knew more about this whole situation. And this is where it started to get personal because I saw a tweet from the official verified One Direction account that said, "Sorry our hiatus went on longer than was originally planned, but we're proud to announce we're officially returning in 2023. And I saw that. I believed it. Of course I did. I want to have hope. Everyone wants to have hope. And then I saw in the caption of the TikTok that it was about the Twitter, everything going on Twitter, and that it wasn't real. And it was those couple seconds where I was like, oh my God, that was too much for me. And thinking about, this is what people are seeing scrolling through Twitter. They're seeing fake things like this. Some of it's really hilarious. And some of it, you're like, you have to stop and question, is this real or not? So yeah, it's rough out there. Funny, but rough out there. So kind of to wrap this up, Elon Musk tweeted a few days ago that going forward, parody accounts will have to put parody in their name of their account so that people know. But I really feel like the damage is already done. The Twitter damage is already done. This has stirred up a lot of talk about the site in the news and on social media. Everyone's talking about it right now, but at what cost? I feel like everything about Twitter is just a joke now, which I love it. I love that, but that kind of sucks for Twitter because this new feature has left no room for anything credible at all. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be really bad for the company as a whole. And again, I don't know everything about this. I'm not commenting I'm just here because it's funny. Just the little amount of time I spent on Twitter trying to find the funny tweets and having to look at everything and try and figure out if it was like real or not, what was going on. That was not fun. That was not a good experience. And I'm just gonna say it. I feel like this is the end of Twitter. For better or for worse, who knows? Everything that's happening is a little annoying, but super hilarious. And that's my final analysis of it. Elon kind of just dug his own grave with this one, and we got some really good entertainment out of it. And that's it for today on Gabbing with Grace. Thank you for listening to the first episode. Come back next week for another exciting topic to gab about. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. See you next week.